Every single time the stock market hits record highs, the exact same movie plays out. The doomers come out of the woodwork, your social feed fills up with panic, and everyone tells you a massive crash is coming tomorrow. Meanwhile, the market does not care at all. It just keeps grinding higher and stacking green days week after week. If you've been sitting on the sidelines holding cash, you know exactly how painful that feels. You watch the entire rally pull away from you while you try to figure out if buying today is a trap. I've been in that exact same spot, staring at my screen and second guessing solid setups because the news sounded scary. The crowd thinks this rally is running on pure hype, but they are completely blind to five massive cash engines pushing this market up. A quick disclaimer, investing has risk. Do your own research. This is not financial advice, and I'm not a licensed financial advisor. When you walk out into the real world, things feel expensive. Groceries cost more, car insurance is up, and regular people are feeling the pinch every single month. Because of that daily grind, your gut tells you the stock market has to fall apart. That's where a lot of smart people get completely tripped up. The stock market is not a mood ring for how everyday folks feel about the economy. It is a cold, hard scoring machine driven by corporate profits, interest rates, and where the biggest piles of money are flowing. Take inflation, for example. Headline inflation has steadily dropped down toward 3.4%. That alone knocks out the single biggest threat that kept the big money terrified for 2 straight years, the fear of higher interest rates choking off the entire system. Most people do not lose their shirt in the market by making one awful trade. They lose by letting fear freeze them in place during the biggest money-making runs in history. We've all been there before. You read a scary headline, convince yourself a 20% crash is right around the corner, and move all your cash to the sidelines. Then you watch top-tier companies report huge numbers while their stock prices tack on another 15%. You tell yourself you will just wait for the dip, but the market never gives you your old price back. The mistake is treating everyday economic anxiety like a trade signal. When you trade the news instead of looking at real business numbers, you end up sitting in cash while the real money gets made without you. Let's walk through the 5 hard reasons why this market is built to go higher. Let's start with the big thing that truly matters over time. Stock prices do not move on vibes, hopes, or YouTube opinions. Over any real time frame, stock prices follow earnings. In the most recent quarter, S&P 500 companies grew their total profits by 51% compared to last year. That is not a tiny beat against low expectations. That is an absolute blowout across corporate America. When company profits jump 51%, stock prices moving up to match those profits is not a bubble. It is basic math. Companies spent the last 2 years cutting fat, using smarter tools, and keeping their prices firm. They are keeping more profit on every single dollar of sales than the bears ever thought possible. Wall Street analysts are actually raising their profit targets for the year, not lowering them. As long as businesses are printing 51% profit growth, the floor under this market keeps rising. The second big engine is that the Federal Reserve is no longer holding a gun to the market's head. For 2 straight years, the darkest cloud over stocks was the fear of higher borrowing costs, breaking the financial plumbing. With inflation cooling off to 3.4%, that dark cloud has pretty much cleared out of the room. The big institutions are no longer worried about surprise rate hikes that wreck the economy. When the fear of rate hikes goes away, big money managers finally get the green light to put cash back into work in stocks. Stable borrowing costs give large companies the confidence to plan out multi-year projects. When you remove the threat of higher interest rates, stocks naturally become more valuable. That macro relief gives this entire market a wide open lane to run. The third reason is the biggest corporate building spree we've seen in our lifetimes. The world's largest tech giants are on track to spend roughly $670 billion on physical computing infrastructure this year alone. That is not paper money or theoretical venture capital. That is hard cash going into real ground. That $670 billion is buying high-end microchips, specialized memory, heavy-duty cooling, and massive electrical power. Every single dollar these giants spend lands directly on the top line of hardware builders, parts suppliers, and power companies. This creates a multi-year pipeline of guaranteed sales across the entire tech supply chain. You cannot just stop a $670 billion project halfway through. These massive data hubs take years to build, which locks in steady cash flow for the companies supplying the gear. This flood of capital spend is acting like jet fuel for the entire hardware world. This kind of structural capex is exactly what I track when building out long-term positions. If you want to see every trade I make, how I size into these names, and the exact research behind each move, that all happens in real time over in my Patreon community. You can check it out at the link in the description. Now, let's dive straight into the reason number 4, because this is where mainstream media gets it completely backward. The fourth driver is something the mainstream financial news gets wrong almost every single day. You always hear commentators say consumer spending is about to fall off a cliff because everyday budgets are stretched thin. That pain is real on Main Street, but consumer spending in the U.S. is overwhelmingly driven by the top 20% of earners. That top 20% owns the vast majority of all stock portfolios, retirement accounts, and real estate. When the S&P 500 hits record highs and home values stay strong, those households feel wealthy and secure. Their bank accounts look great, so they keep spending money on travel, dining, and premium products without blinking. This creates an engine that feeds on itself. Spending by asset owners drives corporate revenues. High revenues protect company profit margins, and strong profit margins push stock prices even higher. As long as asset owners feel rich on paper, consumer spending stays solid. The fifth and most powerful structural force is how much stock companies are buying back themselves. Corporate America is currently the biggest, most aggressive buyer of stocks in the entire world. Companies are stepping into the open market and taking billions of dollars of their own shares off the table. Over 70% of these huge buybacks are happening outside of tech, in regular industries like energy, manufacturing, healthcare, and banking. When a company buys back its own stock, there are fewer shares left for anyone else to buy. That instantly makes each remaining share more valuable and puts an automatic buyer under the market. This corporate buying power acts like an invisible floor under stock prices. When nervous retail traders panic and sell their shares during a normal 3% dip, the corporations step right in with cash and scoop them up. That constant buying pressure is the exact reason why market dips keep getting bought up so fast. And if you don't believe me, just look at what's happened over the last month. Whenever I look at putting fresh money to work at all-time highs, my first move is never to celebrate green days. My first move is to try and tear the bull case apart. If you want to survive and make real money in this game, you do not hunt for reasons to feel good. You hunt for the kill shot that could wreck your capital. The biggest risk right now is valuation. When stock indexes trade at high price-to-earnings numbers, any surprise shock can cause stocks to drop fast. If global trade hits a wall or cash dries up, expensive stocks can take a fast, painful hit. That downside risk is real, and any serious investor has to respect it. But stock prices do not exist in a vacuum. When inflation drops to 3.4% and company profits are jumping 51%, higher stock valuations make complete mathematical sense. When you look at the companies leading this entire charge, they are not fragile startups running on credit card debt. They are absolute powerhouse businesses with balance sheets that look stronger than most countries. Take a look at Nvidia and Taiwan Semiconductor, which control the most critical bottleneck in the modern tech world. Over 90% of all top-tier AI computing runs directly through TSMC's chip factories and Nvidia's software setup. Then look at enterprise titans like Microsoft and Amazon, which turn massive cloud growth into 30% plus pure cash flow margins. Add in Google and Apple, which sit on tens of billions of dollars in cash and buy back their own stock every single quarter. Try to name one company on the planet that can realistically take down Microsoft's enterprise grip or Nvidia's chip moat. Building a business that could even compete would cost hundreds of billions of dollars and take a full decade. You can roll the dice on risky small cap stocks, hoping for a quick hit, or you can bet on the category bottlenecks that own the toll roads of the entire economy. Looking at this entire macroeconomic picture, I am not backing off to the sidelines, and I'm definitely not hiding out in cash. Based on the cold, hard numbers we just walked through, I'm actively leaning in and putting more money to work for the long haul. When you have 51% profit growth, a $670 billion building wave, cooling inflation, and massive share buybacks, the trend is obvious. There's a huge difference between renting stocks for a quick 3-day flip and owning the irreplaceable toll roads of the global economy. Short-term traders spend their whole lives stressed out trying to time a 3% dip, while real wealth is built by holding businesses that print cash no matter what the headlines say. When you own dominant companies with 40% plus gross margins and massive cash flow, you do not have to waste your time guessing where the market will go tomorrow. Seeing these 5 structural engines clearly gives you the confidence to ignore the daily noise and take action. But knowing these 5 reasons is only half the battle. Having the knowledge means nothing if you do not have a daily system to manage your risk, pick your spots, and hold your ground when the market gets volatile. The major indexes are sitting right near record territory, and there are still trillions of dollars parked on the sidelines, earning less and less interest. Every single tick higher puts massive pressure on the big fund managers who are lagging behind the market. When all that sideline cash finally gives up and rushes back into stocks, it is not going to wait around for you. The only real question you need to ask yourself is whether you are already positioned ahead of that massive wave of money, or if you will be stuck chasing this market at prices you cannot even imagine right now. That massive liquidity wave is why I refuse to sit on the sidelines, and it's why our community is executing with absolute clarity. Inside my Patreon, I lay out every trade I make, my exact entries, and the full thesis behind every position. Look at what members are doing with this information. Jay locked in over $28,290 after catching our deep dive on SanDisk, booking a massive win by trusting the structural thesis. Court pulled in over $18,360 after the mechanics clicked on her holdings, and Dan generated nearly $5,000 in monthly cash flow while traveling through France with his teenage son. This is not about chasing hype. It's about learning how a serious investor stress tests balance sheets, sizes risks, and holds category leaders through the noise. If you're ready to stop guessing and start operating with a clear daily system, join us at the link in the description below. If you made it this far, drop lean in the comments. Tribe check. We do not hide in cash while the greatest businesses on earth are compounding.